doesn't want to be in the center. Hey, you guys, we're going to be working on Unit 5 test review. I'm going to go through a few problems with you, but then you're expected to do the rest and answer the rest on this puzzle on your own. This is counting as a grade, so this puzzle is also going to be a little longer than all the other ones, but it is the test review for your test next time in class, or if you're doing this on the day of the test you already took. All right, let's get started. So again, this is the Unit 5 exponential functions review. So make sure you have your review to follow along. If you forget what the review looks like, it's the one that looks like this. Okay. And then answer the questions to get the credit. By the questions, I mean the ones that pop up right here on this puzzle. You will have to do some work on your own, so I'm not just giving all the answers. All right, so let's get started. On the very top of your review, you'll see this graphic, which is y equals ab to the power of x. It's pretty much the exponential function form. With a is your y-intercept, which is written as an ordered pair 0, a. Another thing about a to remember is that is the initial value when we're looking at word problems. It is the beginning value that you start with. So I suggest writing this on your review. B tells you if you're going to have growth or decay. If it's growth, remember b is greater than 1. Also, when we look at word problems, this means b is equal to 1 plus r, where r is your rate as a decimal. Decay is when b is between 0 and 1. And when you're looking at word problems, this is when b is equal to 1 minus r. All right, so I'm going to go over this first one with you, and then the next one you'll be expected to do on your own. So we had to fill out the different portions of this particular exponential function, the different parts here. So remember, we have the exponential equation, f of x equals a times b to the power of x. Remember, you can substitute this for a y, substitute for g of x, h of x, whatever it is, but this is just your output. We're going to start by looking for our a. So a is the first number not with the exponent. So in this case, that is 4. So my a equals 4, which means your y-intercept is 0, 4. Okay. So now let's move on to the next part of our equation, which is b. b is the number or the base number that is being raised to the power. So it is the number right next to the exponent, in this case, 1/2. So b equals 1/2. 1/2 is less than 1, so b is less than 1. Because b is less than 1, this means this is a decay. Okay. We're going to move on to fill out our table. For this particular table, there's only 5 boxes to fill in for your inputs, so we're going to use the numbers -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. I'm going to walk through the steps on how to do this on your graphing calculator. You're going to click y equals first. So on your graphing calculator, I took a picture of mine. That's right here. So click that, and you'll get to this screen. Once you're in this screen, you're going to type in the equation, in my case, on y1. And that should be your case too, for the most part. So notice I typed in my equation. Now, a few of the questions I've gotten mostly is how to get the exponent of x. So I'm going to walk through that. So how do we get that exponent of x? First button we're going to press is the caret key, which is right here where I highlighted it. Once you press the caret key, you then press the variable key, which is right here next to the alpha button. And that'll give you to the power of x. Okay. So once you have that equation written out, you're going to press the second button. And then you press the graph button to bring up the table. So in your table, you're looking for the x values and you're writing down the y values. So here we started with -2. So I want to go to -2 on my x and write what the y value is. And then move all the way down. So that's 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. Okay. So once you have your values, now we can graph it on the given graph here. So I take my first point, -2 and 16. And I plot that point, -2 on my x, +16 on my y. My next point, -1 and 8. There we go. Then 0, 4, that is my y-intercept, so that it's going to go on my y-axis. Then we have the point 1, 2. And lastly, the point 2, 1. Notice the curve is going downward in the decay, which is exactly what we said earlier. So we got the correct information on top. Quick way to check. So I connect my dots. Make sure there's arrows because there's still information. My -3, my -4 going up, and then going to the right. So my 3, 4, and so forth. Okay, go ahead and try this one. And look to the questions on the side, and answer the questions as they appear. And come on here, and I'll highlight the key points. So your first question is, what is your a value in this equation? So what does that translate over to as the y-intercept, or as an ordered pair? What is the b value in this equation? Is that b value greater than 1 or less than 1? You should also answer, is that growth or decay from that information? I don't know why I didn't highlight that. All right, so go ahead and fill out these numbers for your x values. Those are the ones we're going to use, -2, 1, 0, 1, 2. Find the table that matches correctly. Find the graph that matches this particular exponential function. Okay, let's take a minute to try this one out. You're given a table this time. You want to find which of these equations matches the table. So you're going to go backwards. If you don't know how to do anything else, go through and put each of these equations into your calculator and see which table matches it. We're going to do this one together. It says, which function best represents the graph? Well, I start out by saying this is a growth, meaning b has to be greater than 1. So I look at my answer choices. In answer choice A, my b is 1/2, and I know 1/2 is less than 1, so it cannot be A. Same thing goes for answer choice C. My b is 1/2, that is less than 1, so it can't be C. So now that I've narrowed it down to B or D, because both of those show growth, I go and look at my y-intercept, my a value. So my y-intercept here is 3. A equals 3. If you look at answer choice B, it has the A as 2, so it's not B. And answer choice D has the A as 3, so answer choice D is the correct answer here. We're going to do this one together. It says, which inequality best represents the range? Remember, range is your y values, and it goes from low to high. So knowing that it's my y, look at answer choice A. It has an x. We're not talking about x values, that is domain, so A is incorrect. Same goes for answer choice D. We have an x here. Again, x represents your domain, so D is incorrect. So we've narrowed it down to B and C. Since I'm going low to high, my low value is right here at 80. It's a little fuzzy on my screen, but I'm hoping on the paper it shows up nicer for you. So B has the low value of 80, and C only has the number 80. So let's go on to my high value. On the high end, I notice that there's an arrow, meaning there is no high value. So we just start at 80. Answer choice B gives you a high end of 310. Again, the arrow means it's going to go past 310, so B can't be it, leaving the only possible answer as C. And this is because my arrow goes up. This is saying Y is bigger than 80, so every number more than 80, which is true for this case. And try the next series of domain and range questions on your own. I'm going to give you a few hints before you begin. First, remember that in a closed circle, you're using the symbols less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. In an open circle, you're using greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. If you need to write this note on your paper so you don't forget. The other quick hints is that domain is your x values. You go from left to right. And range is your y values. You go from low to high. Okay, good luck on answering these questions. Here's another one. All right, so now we're moving on to part 2 where we're doing the word problems. This was the second thing that we went over. So I'm going to read the word problem. It says World of Warcraft, online gaming platform, currently has about 6.5 million members. It is expected to grow 20% this year from the previous year. If this trend continues, what will be the total number of membership accounts at the end of X years? Which equation best supports the rate of growth of this situation? So I'm going to go and look for my key information. It has about 6.5 million members. This is what they have. This is what they're beginning with when we're looking at this word problem. So that is my A value, my initial value. So 6.5 million translates over to, written as a full form, 6,500,000, 000. So I'm going to look at my A values in each of the problems or each of the answer choices and eliminate a couple. So answer choice A, notice they use 6.5. If in parentheses it would say something like in millions, this would be okay, but we want to write out the whole number as 6,500,000. So A is incorrect. Now look at answer choice D. It does something interesting. There's a plus sign in between the 6,500,000 and the 1.20. We haven't looked at exponential functions like this and won't be looking at exponential functions like this in Algebra 1. So I can automatically mark out D as incorrect, since that is not something we've done in class. So let's move on. Now that I've canceled or eliminated those answer choices just by looking at my A, I go on and see that it's expected to grow. So this means this is an exponential growth problem. So I'm looking up here at growth, where my B is 1 plus R. Okay. And it's growing 20%. So that 20% means that my R is equal to 20%. We convert that to a decimal, which is 0.20. So back to B, for that R, I'm replacing it with 0.20. So now 1 plus 0.20 gives me 1.20. So my B is 1.20. Notice in answer choice C, the B is 0.80, which is incorrect. It's supposed to be 1.20. We could have also eliminated this one from the beginning because we're talking about growth. We know growth means it has to be greater than 1. 0.80 is not greater than 1. So C is incorrect. And if you look at answer choice B, not only does it have the correct A value, but look at your B value. It's what we got of 1.20. So answer choice B is correct. Try this one on your own. It says, according to Mint's press release, Mint has a total of 98.3 million active customers. This is a decrease of 9% from the previous year. If this trend continues, what will be the total number of membership accounts at the end of X years? Which equation best supports the rate of decay for this problem? All right, we're going to do this one together. It says VCount is a company that keeps track of the number of people walking through the doors of each mall. This year, El Paso, Texas malls were visited 35 million times. Malls across the United States have seen a decrease of about 25% of customers walking through the doors. What will be the number of customers walking through the doors at the end of X years? So we're going to fill in the corresponding answers in the blanks below. So the first thing we're looking for is the initial value. So it was visited 35 million times. So the number of visits at the time that we're looking at this word problem, the beginning value is 35 million, which translated over to the actual number is 35, 3 zeros, 3 zeros. Now it says rate of growth or decay. Here we see the word decrease. Decrease means we are decaying, so my equation is going to be A, 1 minus R to the power of X. where R is your rate at which you're decaying. So decay, and the rate here is 25%. We take the 25%, convert to a decimal, and subtract that from 1. So my equation is y equals 35 million, which is my A. 1 minus 0.25 is 0.75 to the power of x. All right, try this one on your own. It says Zoom has seen an increase of number of people using its platform, especially since COVID. There are currently 200,000 participants on a daily basis, and it is expected to grow at 3% each day. At this rate, what will be the number of participants after X number of days? Fill in the corresponding answers in the blanks below. So first, what is the initial amount? Oops. What is the rate of growth or decay? And then what's the actual equation? All right, final part is just a review of linear functions. First one is asking what is the slope of the graph? And I'm going to move because I remember there's stuff on that side. Of the graph of, and it gives you the equation. So we're looking for slope. This is written in the form of y equals mx plus b. Remember, m is where your slope is located in this type of equation. This one is asking what is the zero of the graph. So 0 is the main part. Remember, 0 is the x-intercept. All right, final one. You're solving this one and writing the final answer here. First step when solving is we need to distribute. Next, combine like terms. Now you're going to move the variable to one side. This is when the canceling happens. So cancel out the variable on one side and do the same together. Next, you're going to add or subtract the constant. Now we're getting to that two-step equation that you've been practicing since 7th grade. Again, we're canceling out here. And the final part is divide by the coefficient. Same thing. You're performing a canceling operation. Okay, that is it. I just want to see what that did. Study for your test. Good luck. See you later.